Early on the morning of March 24th, 1945, a car of 6 Black workers bound for the K-25 plant pulled around a stalled government vehicle and crashed head-on into an oncoming dump truck in a chaos of screeching metal and the smell of burned rubber. The workers were taken to the Oak Ridge Hospital. One of them, Ebb Cade, a middle-aged cement worker, had broken both legs and an arm. Of interest to the doctors was that he was, quote, a colored male, well-developed and well-nourished. He would be called HP-12. HP stood for human product. The doctors delayed setting his bones for nearly 3 weeks. Letters circulated between Los Alamos and Oak Ridge. Nurses collected Ebb's urine, stored the samples. Detailed instructions arrived, along with a glass vial of plutonium. On April 10th, a doctor filled a syringe with the contents of the vial, pressed the needle into the skin of Ebb's left arm, and plunged 4.7 micrograms of plutonium into his bloodstream, nearly 5 times what was then considered a safe dose. The Manhattan Project was justified in the name of securing a more righteous world order. The experiment on Ebb was justified in the name of developing safety standards for the nuclear workers who were, even then, being exposed to radiation and toxic hazards without full knowledge or adequate protection. Ebb was told nothing. After being discharged, he returned to Greensboro to his wife. He was a beloved uncle who brought bags of oranges to his nieces and nephews on Sundays. He died 8 years later, at age 63, apparently of heart failure. Ebb Cade was the first of 18 people to be injected with plutonium by the Manhattan Project doctors in the name of medical research, and one of thousands to be subjected to government-funded human radiation experiments without their consent during the Cold War. Almost without exception, writes Eileen Wellsome, an investigative journalist whose work was instrumental in uncovering these stories, the subjects were the poor, the powerless, and the sick. They were inmates in state prisons, developmentally disabled children, poor pregnant women and their unborn children, working class and Black patients checking into hospitals for cancer treatments. Decades later, it would be difficult to ascertain how many knew about the human experiments.